Darrell, first of all, I imagine when you walked off the pitch at Newport, result aside, you wouldn't be thinking it would be a month before you actually had another competitive game. What's all that been like?
Very strange. Still very much hard work, to be honest with you, because you're obviously prepping and preparing for the games as they come along. And yeah, it's been different. It has, but the adaptability of the lads has been fantastic, and we just got on with it.
I know you've prepared for the games, but how else have you used the time? Maybe not just physically, but also mentally to recharge some of the players as well and your staff?
Yeah, sorry, Phil. I think there'll be a mixture of, certain players played a lot of minutes, certain players haven't played minutes, topping up one or two fitness levels, one or two having bigger recovery days, but working, if that makes sense. So there's been a mixture of stuff happening within the group, and obviously we can't wait for the games to get restarted now.
From a manager's point of view, though, is it frustrating when you see other games going on around you and other teams picking up points that you want to be out there and doing the same?
Yeah, but you can't control that. I've learned in my early years as a manager, I was like, oh, God, I wish that didn't happen, that result. I don't really worry about that. I just concern ourselves on us getting better as a team, as a squad of players, as a staff. And that's all my focus, really. We can't control that other teams are playing and we're not. And if you spend your life frustrated, it's going to be a bit of a miserable life, Phil, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose the flip side of it as well, and I think I mentioned this to you before about that you've now got a pretty big backlog of fixtures as well, and you've got to be prepared for that just as much as you have to benefit from a break.
Yeah, it is what it is. That's what we have to deal with, and we crack on. We've got a cup competition, FA Cup Saturday, which we still want to try and progress in as well. So we enjoy playing the games. We'll have to look after the squad. We'll have to bring in one or two more recruitments to make sure that helps the squad with the. I think I worked it out from the Swindon game. These 13 games in, so it's a game every 3.3 days. So we're in for a big period.
You've started off the transfer window with a signing in Ryan Edmondson. Just tell us a bit about what you think he'll bring to the team and how he'll benefit you.
Well, he brings attributes for me similar to Jamie Proctor. He's a decent size. He's mobile. He can hold the ball up. He can arrive in the box to score goals. And it's all about getting the right balance of our strike force and making sure that, within the 4 or 5 strikers, we have a good balance to be able to mix things up, because we had a really good first 21 games of the season for being able to change things up, to freshen things up at the right time. And every one of the strikers were playing their part. We just had an unfortunate situation where we had all our centre forwards injured over different periods of the time, which has been frustrating. But Ryan comes into that to add competition to places now.
You hear managers say about how difficult a January transfer window is. Give us your first-hand experience then of what a January window is like for a manager when it comes to recruitment and maybe moving players out as well.
Yeah, it's just you're just forever with your phone taped to your ear, and you're forever in meetings, in and out of meetings. It's not as easy as the Championship manager game a lot of people play, and they will swap in, we'll do that, we'll do this, which is I used to enjoy that game as well. But there's a lot of things that come into play when trying to strengthen the squad and trying to make changes that are needed. But my understanding is the saying there, does it make the boat go faster? Which basically means does it make us better? That's the key. Every transfer window is can we make our team, our squad better? And always along those ways, there's a few tweaks, a few players out and a few players in to try and get that to be the case.
So with that in mind then, with all the phone calls, is there any more progress on anything like that? And you knew I was leading into that.
Yeah, as always, though, listen, you'll be first to know as soon as we do, but there's a lot of things going off behind the scenes. And I always say, judge your transfer window at the end of the window. It's a window that lasts the whole month. Yes, we've done a good bit of business already early days. Would we like to do all our business early days? Yes, in a perfect world, of course we will. And like I said, it's not as easy as that at times, but we will look to see the business that we've done at the end of the window, and then we can let everybody else assess what they think.
Just to look at the game itself, then I know you've talked before about how much you like the FA Cup and your memories of it, but from a manager's perspective, from that professional perspective, when you play against a Premier League team, what do you either prepare for or take from playing those games that improves you as a manager?
Yeah, but listen, I'm pretty. Each game's for me. Listen, Brentford, we are playing a Premier League. It's a club I've got a massive amount of respect for. I think the recruitment and the model of the football club is outstanding. I think the recruitment over the years now is probably one of the best in the Premier League, along with Brighton. So I've got a lot of respect for them as a football club, but I also it's still 11 men versus 11 men on a football pitch with a bag of air with 2 goals at the end of it, and you've got to find a different way where we can try and cause that surprise. It's going to be an away banker for many people, but for us, we'll be as well prepared as we possibly can be. We'll get the fittest team out there and hopefully do ourselves justice.
Do you like being an underdog in games like this?
I do actually, yeah. I prefer to be the underdog, if I'm honest, but it's a good occasion. Our fans will be dying to get into to watch a game of football. They've been starved of that over the Christmas period, which I'm gutted for them. So hopefully we'll get a real good support base into the ground and they can get behind the boys, and we'll try our best to cause a cup set.
Cheers, Darrell. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Darrell. How are you?
Very good, sir. Yourself?
Yeah, very good indeed. Nice to see you. Shame we can't be there. Explain to me the challenge of not playing for a month. I mean, keeping everybody, not just fitness, but mentally, keeping everybody interested, not frustrated. How have you gone about that?
Well, these are professional athletes and we're professional people. So, like I said, I touched on it before, you just adapt to that and make sure that the training has the right intensity levels, the right recovery levels to make sure that we're working on stuff that they haven't been very good at. Albeit it's been difficult at times with a few boys missing from COVID and injuries, but keep trying to improve, keep trying to make the squad of players better, and that's what me and the staff try and do on a daily basis. And with the games, you're still preparing the games. The first 2 games we had postponed, we was in control of, but we didn't know until late doors because of the testing coming in. And then the other 2 games, we were obviously still preparing for those, but they was called off by other clubs. So we've just been working away.
How frustrating a period for you has it been, though?
Yeah, but I've got more relaxed and chilled out because you can keep getting frustrated about it, but you know what you can do about it, is it? I can go home, kick out the door. Excuse my language. Kick out the door, or you just can't. What can I do? You know what I mean? I can't control that. We just got to get the lads right, get the fitness levels right, and then move on. There's a lot more worse things happening in the world than a few football games getting called off, and that's been the focus really.
Absolutely. You've spoken about the cup and wanted to do well, but you also want to get promoted. That's got to, I presume, without putting words in your mouth, that's your priority this season. So, I mean, do you see Saturday as a good distraction or a chance to keep momentum going?
First of all, the rest of the troops on this call will let you know that I never mentioned that word. For me, it's about moving forward and winning the next game. My players will tell you exactly the same thing. So, I'll let you off for putting words into my mouth. We just focus on winning our next football game. And if you do that on a regular basis, you achieve the goals you want to achieve, what we want to try and achieve. But for me, it's performance. If you look after the performance, the results look after themselves. So we want to build on what's been, I believe, a decent 21 games of the season with a new squad coming together in the summer. And we want to continue that with a few tweaks that we're making in the window to try and progress in the cup and to do as well in the league as possible. And
finally, a couple on your opponents. Firstly, Thomas Frank. What do you think of him? He's a likable character. I speak to him on a regular basis. He's very down to earth, though. He remembers where he's come from in terms of youth football. What have you made of him from afar?
Like I said, I think he's done an outstanding job to be where they are in the Premier League. He'll be delighted with the injuries they've had as well. But I think, like I said before, I think it's a club that's a great role model for other clubs. I think the recruitment over the good few years now, even going back to Dean Smith's days, they have been absolutely outstanding. And certainly, I suppose one or two of the bigger clubs are looking in admiration of why they keep finding these gems. And that's testament to them as a club and their recruitment team.